I told you be right back, and here you go, put me up here.
Sorry, I'll put you back down. My bad, my bad. I didn't see it till late.
Okay. Hey, everybody. Bye.
Yeah. So yeah, no, yeah, no. So for me personally, I just don't think no, I think you can. Okay, look, you can do multiple. I think you can multiply date. I think you can do multiple dating and find love. I just think it needs to be intentful, meaning that there needs to be some real consideration about the way these dates are going about stuff. You know what I mean? But that's another thing, right? Every season we hear it, like people are being kept away from other people, people are not being allowed to date others. Like, what's the point then? Like, at this point, we're not doing Ready to Love. At this point, we're doing a game show. It's ready to game show. You know what I mean? At least sweets are slapping. These peaches, oh my days. Oh, I see. And before I go any further, guys, can I just say something? Guys, I want to ask a question just really quickly. Why is it that I'm looking at your daily consumption and your sugar in this drink is 148%? This is why your drinks are banned in the UK. How can you be at 148% sugar? I want to know how you could have a drink at 148% sugar. That is madness of my daily intake. But I'm gonna sip it anyway. But I'm just saying it is madness. Let me get Analyst I up. Yes, sis.
Hello, good evening. How are you?
I'm good.
Welcome to Georgia. Yeah, I didn't really have. I thought this episode was pretty good. Um, what do you want to talk about first? Unique sabotaging herself or Tequila sabotaging herself?
Feel free, man. Feel free.
So Unique. So remember, I don't know how you say his name, Marcier. He had a conversation with Unique at the end, telling her basically that, there's some healing that she needs to do. You remember that? Yeah. So definitely. And even the new guy, Chris, he came along and was like, whoa, she was coming on a little bit strong. I was kind of shocked by that because I didn't see that initially in the first other episodes, couple of episodes. But you know what I mean? I think that, yeah, definitely she needs some healing. She has healing to do. Tequila definitely has some healing to do. I don't know what her deal is, why she's trying to like micromanage people behind the scenes. It's so strange to me. Trying to think other things in this show, but yeah, it's that's not the approach. That's all I can say about that right now. Mm-mm. She totally messed herself up, and it's almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy, in my opinion.
Mm. Yep. I mean, Tequila is quite an interesting situation. She obviously had a conversation with Phil. It went horribly wrong. When you're just watching somebody and you're getting secondhand embarrassment almost for the person because you're like, baby, like slow it down. You know what I mean? Like we know that you and Phil didn't click the first time round, but did you get an understanding as to why it didn't go down well the first time round? Didn't he explain to you why it didn't go down well? And then you added so much pressure on this date. I just felt like it was a bit too much, but that was only a part of her kind of self-sabotaging that she did on this episode as well. So
Hey,
yeah, I
beauty
definitely.
queens, you guys look beautiful. And I would be on camera, but I don't have my wig on, so.
Oh, we don't mind seeing corner around here,
Oh
baby.
yeah.
We like it natural.
Yeah, when I'll just say when Philip saw her come in the spot, he was like, "Damn!" He was looking like, "Oh no, again."
I was stressed.
It was funny.
Go for it, Seaway. We were just talking about Tequila. I saw you open your mic. That's why I said.
I was trying to fix this stuff in the background. What are we talking about?
Well, we were just talking about Tequila and her self sabotaging that she did on this episode. What's your thoughts to Quilla on this episode. She had a date with obviously Phil. The boys obviously mentioned her her behavior as well. That was a bit mad as well. So what was your kind of thoughts to Quilla? Talk to me.
I actually thought she was a lot more likable this episode. Her personality, I think, was kind of chill, way more chill than I realized, and she kind of came across the first episode. I know there's the big thing about the posting situation, which I don't know. I didn't read as much into it, I know, as some people have taken it as, because I kind of understood what she was saying.
How did you read it? How did you read it?
Just that, like, you want a dude to feel proud of you. You want your dude to be proud of you, and you don't want to feel like you're hidden. You know what I'm saying? And I understood that. Y'all said likable, where I said more likable. She was more likable this episode. I'm not saying really likable, more likable. I understood what she meant. You just don't want to feel like your dude is hiding you, right? I think she went a little bit far with the, it's immature not to post. But I think I posted this. I wrote this in your video when you did your solo on this. I just feel like it's super suspicious if a dude never posts you and he posts everything else about his life. That's the caveat. I think that's what she was saying. If you post your job, your kids, your this, your that, and you don't post your girl, that's suspicious. If you're just an overall, just very, private person, then it's not really odd that you don't post, your significant other. I also find it very off-putting when people overpost their significant other. I also think there's something going on. So, everything in moderation. I don't know what part of that conversation got cut out, but I do know I did understand where she was going with it. So, but yeah, go ahead.
I agree. I think she was likable with Marvin. I was like, oh, okay, this is the side we need to see. But then when she came and she started talking about the social media, I was like, okay, that's a bit much. But I think it's generational too, because I've had arguments about that same thing. And if you post a lot, you don't see a problem with that. Some people feel like they want to keep certain things sacred and private. And but like you said, if you're posting everything else, then why am I being hidden? So, yeah.
I'm just making sure they both done. Okay. I'm in between that, Seaway. Like because I'm definitely one of those people that I'll post me and what I got going on a lot, but I might not post my family, friends, and all that all the time. But I also heard him say that when she was like sometimes, and he was like, yeah, I'll do it sometimes. So I still don't know how she related to that, to him being emotionally unintelligent or whatever she said. I don't mind, like, if you have some rules, you want to be posted up, but to be posting you all the time, like you said, Seaway, that's a little suspicious. Like, I don't have to validate us and our relationship by posting you up every single second on my page. Every now and then, special occasions, yeah, that's my baby, that's my heart right there. You see it, like, that's what it is. But her just jumping to conclusions that Paul has some problem because he don't post often or whatnot. You got to see what his posting habits is in the first place. If he's posting every other month or whatever, and it's a side view, like if you go to my daughter page, it's probably 5 pictures up. She posts and take down, post and take down. So if it's one of them type people, it might not be a problem. It just might be how they are. They're private or whatnot. So I don't have a problem with her stating her thing, but to deny him once again of how he wants to be and move in his relationship, and to say that he's emotionally unintelligent, it was just kind of cringe to me. But like you said, she was a little bit more likable this episode. Her and Marvin, that was a cute little episode. They like friends or whatever, they just gonna hang out and have fun when they are together. But I get what the guys are saying all as a group and as a whole about her. She's too up and down in her emotions, and that's kind of frightening to be saying that, I want peace, when she obviously believes that men want drama. So, you just never know what you're gonna get with her. And I think that's why a lot of guys is like, no, I'm cool on her.
Yeah, it's the unpredictability for me. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously, you know, I think everyone's entitled to the way they post. And I actually didn't disagree with her when she said about the post and stuff. I think what you noticed, Jay, is what I noticed, which is he actually agreed with her and said, like, you hear it in the background, him going, "Yeah, I agree. You know, I'll post sometimes." So the fact that she's still, and bear in mind, confessions are like later on. So they ask you a question, later on, then you answer it. The fact that she had that in her mind about him being emotionally immature, about the fact he didn't want to post, I was like looking at Takula like, maybe how we get to that point of view that, you know, you thought he was emotionally immature. So I don't know. To me, it feels like Takula is, and I think obviously watching an interview with Crystal XO doesn't really, you know, when you're trying to get ahead of the devil and the devil's still ahead, it's like, sis, you're trying to get ahead of the devil and the devil's still ahead. It's like what was the point, you know? And I think watching her interview with Crystal XO, even more so now, I'm like, is there enough awareness from her in her current state as to what impact she has on other people? You know what I mean, as well. Like, and I don't think she's even a bad person or even like a you know, like toxic or mad crazy. No, I just think to myself that I think there's a few wounds, and I think she just needs to be aware that she has wounds, so she shows up in a particular way and she impacts, especially men, in a very particular way. I think that's what I see with her as well. You know. Anyone else?
She has a lot of insecurities, as we talked about before. And I think that's driving a lot of her behavior. I mean, even the whole social media comment, you know, it's out of turn because it's like, you don't know me, you know, why are we even having this conversation? I'm like that too. If it's sacred to me, I'm not posting it. You know, I think as you get older, certain things become like, okay, I'll post something fun or funny or lighthearted, but you're not going to know where I work. You're not going to know my personal life, the things that, you know what I mean, that mean something to me, unless maybe I'm like Kevin on stage and his wife, and I want to, like, you know, there's a business and whatever, there's a reason. But yeah, I just think that she's got to do a lot of work on herself. And I've met a woman like that, and it is a lot. It is a lot, especially if they think that people are perceiving them as less than due to their color, due to their weight, whatever it might be that's leading all this. I hope she gets the help that she needs. That's all I'm gonna say about her.
Go for it, Jay. Were you gonna say something?
Yeah, I just kind of like wish in that moment she didn't bring up the whole "you don't like me" thing again. I'm like, stop beating this dead horse. It's dead, child. We do not care. It's not, this man is not holding a grudge against you. I don't know where you got that in your mind, how you got it in your mind that he is holding some type of grudge because you asked him a question, he gave you an answer, you didn't like the answer, and he just backed off of you. That's not a grudge, sweetheart. That's just somebody reading the room and understanding, I must have said something wrong. Let me go on about my business. That's all it was. And I do say though, in this moment with that date, I know Paul is off of her, but it does kind of feel rude the way he just turned mostly to Sierra in a lot of the conversation. And I think that's what made her be awkward enough to even come back to that and say it in the first place. Yeah, Paul, you just got to work on just being polite and just having open communication, I think, as far as, you know, entertaining people.
Yeah, that's
You
why
mean Philip, right?
more likable.
Was it Philip? What's his name? Philip or
Oh, so
Paul?
I keep him Paul. Sorry, I
Phil.
keep him Paul too.
Is his name Phil?
Phil. But
Sorry.
when you said
okay, yeah,
Paul,
that's what I mean.
You said Paul, I heard Phil. But that's why I thought she was more likable, because the way she handled that, I thought she handled that pretty well, because he literally, once she walked in, he was just like, I don't even see her. I thought she dealt with that pretty well. But I think people just got to be okay with not being everybody's cup of tea. You know what I mean? And when you get okay with that, whether that's like relationships, friendships, whatever, it's smooth sailing. That doesn't mean like you don't learn from like actual constructive feedback, but you gotta be like, I'm not okay. I'm not for everybody. Some people are polarizing, and that's what makes them. That's their gift. That's what they have, right? I don't know what her stick is, but if that man said that he wasn't into you the first time, that should be okay with you. You know what I mean? Like, you just may not be for him. And if you want somebody who wants, you want to be posted, find somebody who posts you. That's what you do. You know what I mean? Like, you ain't got to argue with him about it. There's going to be plenty of men that will post you. Find that guy that's not super, weird about that. So I think I hope that's what she takes away from this. You ain't got to make nobody want you. And the first time he says he's good off you, you need to be okay with that. So.
Definitely here. So you said obviously about Phil. Do you think Phil was too cold with Tequila? You think Phil was too cold with Tequila?
Not initially. Not initially. He was open and talking to her. They was having a nice conversation until Sierra got in, and then it was just like, you know how a person come in and you shift your whole body this way. It was just one of those things. It got less open to her. And so it was making her make awkward comments or questions and stuff. I do it, like I said, Seaway, I agree with Seaway on that point. She kept the conversation going because she even entertained it with Sierra. Like, so how many kids do you want to have? How, let me bring myself in there, but I just wish he would have brought her into the conversation a bit more.
I think he was just done with her. And, it's like, when, like, just like what Seaway said, is like, once you realize that's not it, I'm not gonna pursue anything else. And probably they could have had a friendship, but because she's so unstable and combative, it's like, that's not even an option at this point. So it's like, ooh, thank goodness Sierra's here. Let's talk to her. And let's get this thing over with. And like you said, Seaway, we have to get comfortable with knowing, like, not everybody is for us. And that's what I think that's where Philip was at. He was like, I'm good. We're not on the same page. That's it. And a lot of people try to, force a peg through you know what I mean? Square hole, whatever the thing is. But we need to just allow it to be an incompatibility, and that's it, period.
I hear that. 100% hear that. Okay. Last bit on the Twitter. What was your ladies' thoughts on? Then obviously the men obviously said they had a conversation with Tequila, and she obviously then was saying she said to Chris, basically, someone in your group basically was on me, but they're not really on me anymore. I'm paraphrasing. And all the men had like a come to Jesus moment, said, yeah, I've experienced this with Tequila as well. Tequila, Dunn said, Tequila Dunn said, obviously, that she had said something to Mari too. Mari was like, okay, well, I'm done with you then. If that's what you want to do, I'm out here as well. I'm gone. So, what was your ladies' kind of viewpoints on Tequila amongst the men? Because the men just kind of really did come to that come Jesus moment. Was like, yeah, we ain't messing with her. You know what I mean?
I'm here. The light was bothering me.
That's right.
I just feel like this show is not for everyone. You know what I mean? And I don't think it's for people who struggle with insecurity, especially as women, right? I think if you're already kind of unstable with your insecurity about how you look or how you appear, things like that, being matched up and trying to compete for attention is a dangerous situation. And I think when she wasn't getting the immediate attention or validation from men that she was interested in, she tried to put up a wall and be like, no, I'm good. Or you're hollering at other people, I'm good. I think she was doing that because, you try to stop the rejection before they reject you again. And I think her being put up to be almost eliminated that first time also really added to that. So I'm not gonna. I think the way they viewed her is just all a result of that. And, you know, I'm not going to really judge it because I think most of us here probably wouldn't do well in that environment because you don't know why these men are picking other people. I mean, we've seen super pretty people go home in the first couple of days. We've seen smart people, intelligent people go home. It's hard to know why they're picking who they're picking, but if you're not in tune with your star player, as Cat Williams could say, you're going to be really effed up. You're going to be really, really effed up. Because even that one statement, oh, they're just picking you because of your skin color. In that situation, for what we seen last week, that made no sense. That, to me, told me her state of mind. She's completely just not set up for this process. And I'm not saying I would be either. I don't know. But I just don't think she's doing well with it. And it was time for her to go.
I agree with that, Seaway. I'll put in more specifics. If you need constant validation, I think this is not the place for you. If you have to have somebody constantly tell you, I choose you, I pick you, you're the best looking, this, that, and the third. And if you notice her question and Habibi's questions to most of the people every time they went by is, do you like me? Do you am I attracted to you? Am I? And so that's annoying to people, especially when they just met you. Let me feel you out. I don't know what type of person. I might be a sapiosexual, so you attraction wise might not, it might not be there until I have conversation with you. So let's have some conversations. But stop asking me how if I'm feeling you on the first day. I don't know you. Let me get to know you. Have some real conversations with me. Take your time out. Let me know something about you, what's going on. And yes, whatever other insecurities that she have, I hope that she sees it. She works on it. I kind of doubt she does because watching some of the interviews, I don't think she's totally self-aware of how she still comes off. So maybe after watching a couple times, hearing some reviews, maybe some people get into their comments and just say, reevaluate yourself just a little bit, sis. You're the common denominator in all your relationships. So your discernment might need some growing. You might need some healing from some things. Some things might need to be flushed out. That's from childhood. I don't know. You just might need to just sit back and just take some time with self. Figure out why are you coming off as you do in certain situations and just move forward from there.
Yeah, I don't have much to say. I just think that, yeah, I agree. I think that this process is not for the weak at heart. And so if you come on here and your first thing is looking for validation, confirmation, affirmation, all that you're supposed to give to yourself, then you're going to get hurt every time because ultimately none of these people know you. They're not invested in you. You know what I mean? You just have to come in on, I'm invested in my own self, and this is what I'm looking for, and it may or may not be here, and being okay with that. She doesn't seem to be okay with that. She wants to be liked and accepted. That's why I said the undertone is this insecurity. Same thing with Habibi. She had this whole connection with him because she felt he was the underdog. He was misunderstood, and so was she, and all of this stuff. And again, that's why they had to go.
Definitely hear that. Yep. I know Sean's here. I'm sure he would want to have his say about Tukwila as well. But yeah, no, I definitely feel like, I think if she can watch it back, hopefully I can get her to come on the show and we can interview her. But if she can watch it back, she can just kind of see where some things have gone wrong. I think what's interesting is I remember watching her interview with Crystal XO and she was like, I'm definitely not insecure. I'm definitely not this. Definitely not. She was trying to address, I guess, some of the comments that she had seen. But in reality, episode 3 made it worse. Like, the first 2 episodes, she was like, this is the third 2 episodes you probably see later on. I'm like, yeah, the third episode didn't help you, sis. Like the third episode didn't really back your sentiments of what you had said. So, I just need her to take a bit of time. look back through the show and don't look to blame somebody else. Like I always say this as well. Like, of course, the show is rigged. Of course, the show cheats. Of course, the show doesn't always, doesn't always, give people always a fair shot and chance, right? And the funny thing is, that's life. Sometimes it just don't give you a fair chance. But what I want from her is just to be able to look at her behavior and not look to blame anybody else. You know what I mean? And I think that is for everybody who comes on this show Ready to Love. I think the one blessing you get from having a show is also the same thing as a curse. Your every move is watched. But it also means for a time period, for a season and for a time period, you actually get to see yourself and actually how you show up. And sometimes a lot of us don't know how we show up to people. We assume we're great and amazing people until we watch it back and we're like, yeah, you're not that great. You're actually not. Some of your behaviors are actually not beneficial for other people, but people are tolerating you. And I think that is one of those things. And what I would say also too, again, and I think I've always said this, is very rarely, no matter how much people say about editing, very rarely do people come and show us a different side, show us different to what we saw on the show, because the show is showing you a part of who you are. It's not always who you are in totality, but it is a part of who you are, and it's capturing that point in that moment. So yes, Tequila is not always insecure at every single moment, but baby, when it came to relationships, there's some insecurity there. You know what I mean? Yes, Tequila's not always fighting, but baby, when you're fearful and you're afraid, it seems like you get into altercations of verbal spats with people. You know what I mean? Like, it's not every moment that's what you are. It's, there are given moments like that you behave in that particular manner as well. So, the show does that every season. And don't worry, we're going to come into Red as well, because, Red was getting on my nerves because he be doing this thing that is so unattractive. Like, as a man, I need, like, I will say this, if you're not, let me know, because I don't be rude, but if your face is not your face, it's not the face of the gods. No, I'm just being real with you. No, wait. Listen, you have to be
now,
fair.
Seaway had the pop on camera for that.
Camera.
Meanwhile,
no, but wait.
Kojo, that's how you know you're going down the wrong path, because Seaway came right on camera with that big, bright, beautiful smile, because she just was waiting to hear what you had to say.
Camera real quick.
Exactly.
I'm just saying, because I only say that because there's a if you
now she went on so you
gods,
can continue, because she wants you to continue.
You have to kind of say,
Go
like,
off,
if you haven't got the
Kojo.
face of the gods, you have to
Tell the truth.
wait till you buy it in. Like, you have to be much more observatory when you haven't got face of the gods, because you don't get the luxury of being able to just say anything and getting away with it. You get what I'm saying to you? Like, if you got a face of the gods, you can say the most cringiest things, and some women are like, but he's still cute though. But some of us are not. Some of us are average looking people, and he's part of my group. We're average looking human beings, okay? And average looking human
Don't put yourself
beings
with him.
must observe the opposite sex. Oh, we're all in the same bracket, man. I call it
Everyone
the average bracket.
should, Kojo. Everyone should watch.
We are all in that. Everyone should watch that. I'm saying, you know what I mean? I'm not saying he's ugly. What I'm saying is, no, I'm not saying he's ugly at all. Not at all. That's not what I'm saying at all. Don't worry, I'm not saying that.
Just don't even say the ugly word.
It's in the eye of the beholder.
I'm not saying it's ugly. I'm not saying
He's not.
I'm not saying he's ugly.
He's
at all.
what they
That's
say.
not what I'm saying.
He was a cute child.
I'm saying when you are in the, we're all in that. Most of us are in the average bracket. This no one should be trying to behoove themselves. We are in the average bracket. People are saying coach is higher. Thank you for that, but let's not pretend we're in the average bracket. I'm in the average bracket. And when you're in the average bracket, when I'm talking to a woman, you have to make sure you got the buy-in. You got to make sure that she's feeling you. Then you can drop them bars like, you know what? I'm attractive. I think you find me attractive. Then you can drop that because you've seen that she's kind of feeling you a little bit. But Red just be going straight in, and it's like, and what you were saying, Jay, about the that aspect too, where you it's almost like you're overcompensating a little bit. It's not cute. So yeah, we will come to Red after Sean. So Sean, you go first, and then we'll come to Red. I know Sean was like, don't want to talk about Red, but in that way. But go for it, Sean.
So we back to Tequila, or
yes, you're the last person to have a say on it. You're the last person to have a say on it, and then I'm gonna go to Red.
Oh, I think everybody pretty much summed it up, and I think like she has the right intentions. Well, I won't say she has the right intentions because I don't know. I haven't seen enough. I feel like she she has a good heart, right? But I feel like whatever hurt that she's had or however she's been treated in previous relationships is spilling over. You know, like when she had that interaction with, I believe it was Phil, and she was like, I think you're holding grudges against me. It's like she's one of those people, like she's just very sensitive, you know? So she just misinterprets things. No, he's not. This doesn't have anything against you. You two just don't have a connection, okay? And you're making it worse, right? You know, and I think she's looking for validation, and she got a little of that from Habibi. And I think if she were looking at him through a lens of somebody that's fully healed, um, she would see that Habibi's not it either. And I feel like what she's looking for is validation, and she wants to be loved in the way that she wants to be loved, whether it's being posted on Instagram or on social media. All those signs, that's somebody that needs validation, and I think she needs a lot of it. And there's not necessarily wrong with wanting to be validated, but you also have to leave room for how the person that you're with, how they are comfortable showing care for you and in steps and stages, right? Because she even missed it when he said, like, hey, I don't mind once we're serious a little post, but it's not going to be a lot. And that's still, she didn't even hear it. So, you know, like when somebody's in fight mode, they don't even hear when you're kind of agreeing, but they're just fighting, right? It's like, hey, we're kind of saying the same thing. So I think that's what I see from her. I think she just needs to kind of be more self-aware, in addition to being open to hearing other opinions and perspectives that are different from hers.
Appreciate that, Sean. Thank you very much. All right, we're going to talk about Red now. And just to say to everybody, listen, this was not about opening the field up so we can talk about how you think he looks good or doesn't look good. I was merely making us a point that those of us who are average, which I include myself in, must observe the season and the times. That's all I'm saying. So please, I don't want anyone to delve into the fact that they feel like he looks like this or looks like that. That's not what I'm asking. I'm just saying, if it's not relevant to actually making an actual point, let's stay away from insults as well. All right, cool. Let's talk about Red and his particular strategy, because he seems to have the strategy, which he did the same with Unique, and she definitely wasn't on it. He did a little bit now with Aries as well. I'm sure it got edited, but you know, her first response was almost to kind of laugh and joke a little bit. What's your guys' thoughts on Red at the moment? You know, I know he had another conversation with Unique as well. So, what's your guys' thoughts on Red and his mating strategy?
I'm gonna cut this camera back off because it's light. I think here's the thing, Kojo. Like you said, it's not about what we think about what he looks like or how he feels. It's about what he thinks about himself. And I think the problem with Red is the fact that he's moving really insecure, and it's showing up in the way that he's interacting with people. Because we've said this time and time again, if you're a man, for women, looks ain't even really up there anyway. We've said this multiple times, but you know what is? Confidence. And when a fine man walks in a room, like what's his name? What's his name? The new guy.
Christopher.
Right. When Christopher walks in a room and you already trying to size him up and giving insecure vibes, it's like, nah, I don't really like you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're, for a man, your confidence is your currency. So whether you find like Christopher or you look like a foot or you look like whatever, you gotta feel like you're that
Not a foot.
No, I'm not saying he does. I'm saying from one end to another, guys. That's what I'm saying. Whatever you are on the spectrum, you gotta feel like you're that guy. You know, like my favorite line is I'm about to mess it up. But when Jay-Z says that there's no such thing as an ugly billionaire, you know what I'm saying? Like, he feels like he's that guy. So I feel like he's that guy, you know? For men, being confident is everything. And he just is very insecure. telling that man he got to stretch. Like, why are you worried about another man stretching and if he pulls something or not? Like, that was just weird. And then you're asking a woman, and people got to stop doing this. And this is why I defended Kevin Samuels when it came to this. Don't get on Hillary Clinton internet. Don't get on reality TV, and don't do it on real life. Don't ask somebody what they think about you and you don't want the answer. Don't do it. Why are we doing that? Why you're asking a woman and she thinks you're attractive? Why? Do you want the answer? And don't ask the Sagittarius our opinion, because we're going to give you the truth. We're not protecting your feelings. So do not ask me a question that you do not want the answer to.
Exactly.
Don't do that. And then y'all gonna say that we're not fit, feminine, submissive. No, don't ask questions you don't want the answer to. You're setting yourself up. That's all I got to say. Red is just too insecure. If next week he gives me more swag, he gives me, he got to give us something, because right now, that's why
the looks of it, he not.
No, give it insecure.
Well, since my mic is open already, I'm going to go ahead and jump in. I agree with C-Way. Please get your confidence game up. And I'm going to blame Unique on this, okay? Because ever since Unique said he had a thought job, he's been questioning his whole life, okay? This is her. This is this is her fault. Now he don't know if he look good. He asking everybody if they attracted to him and stuff. Like, do not do this. You have set yourself up again. You set yourself up with Unique for her to do a walk off. You set yourself up with Aries for a long pause. Stop doing this to yourself. These are not your jokes. It's not your punchline. We do not need you to set it up, because it's actually funny to me that you keep setting up this stuff, though. I'm not gonna lie. But stop for your own sanity, because it's not healthy for your own mental health. I feel like with Christopher coming in, I get it. The first joke, that's just to set the room. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, we all cool here. You 35? Oh, you might need a stretch. It's a little friendly competition. But to keep making little comments here and continuously do it, then I'll be sitting on the side like, okay, you obviously feel threatened by this man. And all he did was walk in the room. Now, granted, when he walked in the room, Aries was like, hey, how you doing? And everybody else was like, hey, now. But if you got your solid connections, as you say you do, you should be fine. He can't disrupt what you got solid foundation on. So just go on about your business and stop worried about this man over here. And you got the two baddies on your team. Run your plays, do your thing. You know what I'm saying? It sucks for you that you got the two baddies on your team because you can't accidentally tackle them or whatever. But, it is what it is. Do you, boo?
Yeah, Red, bless his heart. Red, I didn't like that. Don't ever ask. Like C-Way said, a Sagittarius, I'm one too. So I would have did exactly what Aries did. Okay, yeah. I wouldn't answer, because really, who asked that type of question? Like, how do I look, or do you think I'm attractive? No, I don't. Is that what you want me to say? Again, women aren't as looks crazy. Yes, we want to be attracted, but most of all, we'll overlook some things. I know how you feel about this topic, Sean. Don't get with me unless you're attracted to me. Don't do me any favors. But women do favors all the time. I promise you. We do. We do it against our own will, okay? We do it. So trust me, will we prefer a Boris Kojo and the other one? Yeah. But look, like Kojo said, it's average out here. We're average. Average meets average. It's okay. Just come with, stability and emotional intelligence. And at first with Red, I thought he had the swagger. That's the thing. I was like, okay, he's a little touched, but he has the swag. He kind of came off with a little, especially with
touch.
I think, yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. But Janelle, when they were kind of, in that little, I forgot what it's called, but anyway, he had this little swagger about him, and now all of a sudden he's asking this question. So maybe Jay, maybe you're right. Maybe after Unique questioned him, that threw him off. Maybe he just thought that he's this DJ, he's known, and then all of a sudden he's in this new arena where nobody knows or cares. So maybe that's where this is coming from. And then you have other more attractive guys, but you just have to be good in your own skin and know what you're worth. So yeah, hopefully he stops that.
Impressive, 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 impressive.
Oh, thank you.
I was like, what is that?
That went beforehand. That was for all the ladies that went beforehand. Very impressive.
Wait, I'm crying at
Thank you.
Capricorn. She said, I would ask you, are you attractive?
What? Say it again.
Capricorns.
Wait, that is such a, first of all, that's a Capricorn question anyway. I am dying. I'm thinking about how Coach said, I'm not talking about the Capricorns and such a cherry.
Capricorns. We appreciate the Capricorns out there. We do. We appreciate the Capricorns. Sean, I see you shaking your head out there. Because the ladies went for
Fatality.
they went for fatality. What's your thoughts here, Sean?
So I'll start with kind of, you alluded to it earlier. I believe Aries mentioned that her response to him asking that question was edited. So I think I'm just going to say for now that although it sounds like she didn't, when he asked her if she found him attractive, I'm going to say that perhaps that's not how that conversation really went. But I'll just say, listen, there's a lid for every pot. And we've been told time and time again that ladies can go beyond attraction to find a man that they like, right? So we continue to be reminded of that. So, hey, listen, I think there's somebody out there for Red. Janelle seems to be very much into him. And so much so that she was starting to get jealous of him with Kyra, I believe her name was, when they were out bowling. So he's got some connections. So, hey, listen, somebody's liking what they're seeing and experiencing. And I'll just leave the rest where it is. But I do think that, I was watching a video about attractiveness and attractive people and how they impact not only men and women and how you can know that you're attractive. And I think this new guy, Chris, he's obviously just like an attractive guy. So you notice you get those, people that are attractive get reactions from women, and then they get reactions from men. And I think Red could see that this guy's an attractive guy, and he reacted. And I think, unfortunately, he showed his hand a little. I don't think he went too far just yet, but he started to kind of like, push the boundaries, because it just made him a little insecure. Whenever a new person comes on the scene, he's new to the dating process in the pool. And then he sees like, oh, okay, this guy is competition. He's tall, he's an attractive guy, got a full head of hair. I was envious of his hairline. I was like, oh no, this brother ain't gonna come in here with a full hairline, But listen, I think you gotta know your lane. And there's nothing wrong with being in a space where somebody else is attractive. It shouldn't intimidate you, right? Or it shouldn't be like, oh, you got to try to bring them down, or you got to try to puff up your chest so they know. If you hold in court like that, people are going to know. So I think that confidence doesn't need to scream. Just like they say, wealth whispers. I don't think your confidence needs to scream. I think you can, just be in the room, and how you carry yourself and how you conduct yourself speaks louder than you having to check somebody or try to assert yourself and show dominance like, you know, we're part of a wolf pack. You know, I don't think that's necessarily, you know, not at our big grown ages in our 30s and 40s. So that's what I thought about that.
Beautiful stuff. Next one we're talking about is obviously Kat. She's a new girl that came in like a wrecking ball. And one question we're asking is, did some of the ladies also turn into mean girls? I.e. Kira. I don't know who else was there as well on that date, but seemingly the energy might have turned off a little bit. Why is it that the ladies might have felt some type of way about Kat coming in? I want to get you guys and ladies' thoughts as well. I'm going to just quickly put myself on dark because I need to go and collect my food from downstairs. But I would love that discussion to hear. Anyone can go through it.
I'll go.
And I'll be back.
Yeah, I don't know if it was Mean Girls. I think it was just kind of the same thing that Red was doing. I mean, it's because Kat walked in and she was that girl. And I think when you walk in and you think you're the best thing that hit the ground, I mean, they were just giving, I don't really like you taking up space in the same space that I'm in. So, you know, you gotta be okay with the fact that you're cute and the girl next to you is cute too. And they just kind of seemed like they were a little taken aback of how when she walked in, because she was nice, her body was nice, her face was giving, her personality was warm and welcoming. So I think that's what it was.
Yeah, I agree. I like Kat's energy. I like the confidence. I just like the way her disposition was. She was very open. She didn't come in judging. The other ladies did judge her. But again, like you said, it's that new blood and people are starting to meet different people. So I think it's just a natural thing, like, oh Lord, you know, I don't want someone to mess up what I got going on. But again, stay confident within yourself and what you have to bring to the table, because even we'll get to the new guy, Christopher. I mean, Janelle went out with him, right? But she may still like or prefer Red over this new guy for other various reasons. Maybe he's older, more mature, or at the same level versus the more attractive but younger person. So, you know, people just need to learn to be good with where they are and where they're at in their life. But I like Kat. And I thought her and Chris, the Nigerian guy, they might have a little connection, or maybe it was more friendship. I'm not sure. So yeah, that's what I have to say.
You saw how tiny he was next to her though?
I know. Yeah.
How tall is
But
he? He looks like 5'4".
yeah, I thought he was taller when they first showed him, but against her, I was like, ooh. But hey, you
He's
know
either
what?
really tall or he's really short.
Yeah, something. I don't know, but I liked him. He's my type. Shoot. Hey, call me Chris. No, but yeah, I don't know. But they seem like more like friendship, right? It wasn't like chemistry like Janelle and Christopher.
Yeah, it was like friend vibes, but also like I feel like sometimes. Let me not project.
Yeah.
I'll take it back.
All right.
Yeah, I'm working on me, Sean.
I've been working on me. Go ahead, Jay or Sean.
Oh, let me jump in here because y'all cutting up. I see this now. Sean, like, I don't know what to do. So we talking about Kat and Chris, or what are we talking about?
Kat and coming in, entering the space, and then the women were they kind of like mean girling to her, or what was the overall vibe when she walked in the room?
Okay, Kat walked in first date with Chris. I like the energy. She was giving me that same vibe that Janelle was giving in the first episode, you know, just real friendly, open to conversation, polite, easy. She seemed very easy to talk to. I like that about her. When she came into the group date, her energy was still the same. It was still bubbly coming in, but I did get that where they were just like, oh, hey girl. So I kind of felt her on that, where it's like, I don't know if this is genuine haze or y'all just like tolerating me right now. And definitely from Kira's little confessionals, she was definitely just tolerating her. So Cat got the girls catting, fighting around here already, and I'm not mad at it. Y'all get yourselves on y'all game. Y'all obviously see y'all got some real competition up in here. She ain't came to play with y'all. So we're gonna see what Cat do, why she's still single or whatnot, because she's a very beautiful girl. Very beautiful.
Yeah, I agree. You know, Kat's very attractive. I think, you know, she's gonna shake things up a little bit. And you know, I just wanna see Janelle and Kira just I wanna see their softer side. And it's not like, and I understand Kira's comment, you know, that she's not here to make friends. However, I think how you are with your friends, how you are in group settings gives me an indication of how you just generally are. And if you tend to be a little mean, you tend to be a little catty, you kind of feel like you got to knock people down to build yourself up. I don't necessarily like that personality trait. So I just personally would like to see a little more just niceness, right? You know, you ain't got to, you know, be her BFF, but I think you can generally be nice. And that I like a nice woman. You know, you don't have to be overly friendly and, you know, doing backflips for everybody, but somebody that's just universally nice, a genuine, decent person, and can, you know, be remotely friendly. That to me is attractive. And that's somebody that I think shows signs of agreeability and easy to work with because they understand how in social settings how to get along with people. So my little thoughts there. I did think Kat got along well with a lot of the guys and seemed to have good conversation. I like how she conducted herself. She said a little one thing like, you know, there's nothing wrong with confidence, but she started bigging herself up and she's this and she's that. I'm like, you know, maybe just let other people say all the great things about you. Again, I think that sometimes people, you know, feel like they gotta big themselves up, and it wasn't the worst thing in the world she could do, but it's just something that kind of stood out to me when she started kind of talking about her positive attributes. And I have 2 masters, and I have a business, and I have this, and I know I'm hot, you know, and I know I'm going to shake up the table.
We
I'm
don't care.
paraphrasing. I don't know if that's the language she used, but it was pretty much that's kind of the gist of what she was saying. So that kind of was like, all right, Kat, you know, you can ease up on that a little bit because again, the most beautiful women are the women that are pretty, but are pretty, but they're approachable, they're friendly, and they don't need to tell everybody how pretty they are, you know?
Well, that's why the men in the manosphere said that nurses is like the #1 profession of women they won't date. They said they too confident, they got too much to say.
Number one in thoughtyism.
I think lawyers are up there too, but the nurses I think are #1. They be real mad at the nurses.
Yeah, and their schedules, and you know, they typically do well financially, so
and they're gonna let you know they do well too.
Yep, they're gonna tell you about everything. So
they're gonna let you know.
So those are my little.
I mean, I really like Kat. No, I think you're absolutely right. I like Kat as well. You know what I mean? I think they did her dirty by airing the fact that she had 3 degrees and everything because the niggas don't care. Sorry, the men don't care. You know, they don't care. They don't care. Okay.
One day in the A. One day in the A.
I'm trying. But you know, he's already hood. He's already hood.
Before y'all who don't know how to listen and comprehend, I didn't hate on no nurses.
Oh Lord.
No, because I feel like people don't be listening. It's annoying as hell. Y'all got me cussing. It is so annoying. I didn't hate on nurses. I said that's what the men in the manosphere said. And then I added they say the same thing about lawyers. God dog.
No, they heard me say thoughtyism. Don't worry, it was to me.
Oh, I hope so. Because I was like, dang, y'all take stuff and run and don't listen.
I said what I said. Okay, Coach. Sorry, were you interrupted?
What I said. I'm right. Hey, I ain't even mad at it. You know what I mean? You got to address the audience. You got to address the audience. It's not. I mean, I'll catch a straight no matter what. But yeah, no.
Or you, Kojo, I do apologize about that.
No, you know, I'm gonna catch a stray no matter what. No, but yeah, I think to myself, I like her energy. You know what's interesting? If and maybe I'm just being presumptuous and I haven't seen all the facets of. It's really interesting how I think personally that Lee's the baddest of the baddest out there, but Kat's confidence makes her, whew, you know what I mean? Like Kat's confidence. She's a pretty girl, but her confidence takes her that extra step. Like you ladies were saying earlier on, the confidence is a big thing for ladies. Also for us as guys as well, when we look at a girl that's confident, it's, oh, you know what I mean? Like it gets you a little bit excited, you know? So I like her confidence. I like the fact that, you know, she's bold as well, you know what I mean? So, but I think I agree with you, Sean, as well. Like, I just hope that she stays humble. Don't let it get to her head. Don't let it, you know, you can still be confident and still be humble, you know what I mean? But yeah, I like her energy for instance when she came in first of all, you know, she had that, you know, I don't really care about anybody's thought process. So I like that. Someone asked about the nurses situation. Do men like nurses? Sean?
I mean, I haven't had a bad situation with a nurse before.
No, they haven't patched you up wrongly, no?
Mm-mm. No, I mean, I've heard it. And again, I haven't had like a relationship with a nurse either. So it's nothing, I don't have anything to really reference. I do know some nurses, but yeah, I've heard the same thing. I've heard because of the scheduling, you know, many of them make a lot of money, especially with the pandemic. They, you know, nurses are making big bank. One of my close friends is a traveling nurse. So she definitely did very, very well, you know, bought her own house, you know, does very well for herself, travels anywhere she wants to go. And depending on the guy, some men do get intimidated by it. And then sometimes, depending on the personality traits, you know.
I'm gonna let y'all know right now. Let me put on some scrubs. I'm gonna act brand new, baby. Rip me out the plastic. I swear to God, them scrubs be doing something to a confidence level. Okay, them scrubs be hitting a different type of way. Okay, I might start wearing scrubs at the kitchen.
They definitely hating. I just hear a lot of hating on nurses, and I think it's because these men can't match the money, and if you can't match the money, you're gonna start taking shots. And that really, I mean, I haven't met a broke nurse, not one. I ain't seen a nurse need for nothing, want for nothing. They're good. Yeah. And a lot of these
oh gosh.
A lot of these
Can
men
you just say a period?
Wrong road.
Period. And then a lot of these men are for a lot, wanting for a lot. So they're gonna take shots where they need to take shots, because the men with the funds usually don't got a problem.
Listen, I had speaking of nurses, I had a couple of nurses that were taking care of me when I had surgery, and I didn't want them to go away. I was waiting for their shift to not end. So
shout out to those nurses.
Yes, and you know who you are if you're watching.
Wow.
One nurse. I wish I needed a sponge bath, but that wasn't on the doctor's orders for me.
Jackie, come back.
Like, please. She was like, no, we can release you today. I was like, no, I want to stay an extra day.
Did you ask her for her number?
No.
Why not?
You should have asked if she made house calls.
No, not in the state that I was in. I was like, you know too much about me. So
actually, Sean, you probably did. You probably just don't remember. Medicine kicked in.
I might have. Once I came, you know, she gave me the good oxycodone. I might have said a lot of things.
And then you got a lot of nurses that know how to get that vein in one poke.
Oh man,
right.
You find you a nurse that can get the vein in one poke.
Shout out to my auntie out there.
They don't be playing with nobody.
What are you saying? One poke.
One poke, because the ones that don't know, they're all over the place.
They be playing poking you 5, 10, 50.
Yeah.
I'm
like, give me somebody else.
They play operation on your arm.
Wait, but I want to say I agree with Sean. I'm watching it right now, and I don't like the little I'm just amazing comment that Kat made. I'm an awesome person. I'm this. I'm a jokester. Like, I mean, they probably asked her, like, tell us why you should be matched or whatever. But it did come off a bit arrogant. So she needs to pipe down a little bit on that.
All
Yeah.
right. Note to self: change how I big up myself. Got it.
No, not you, Jay. You're not on the show.
It's Leo season. I'm coming in hot.
Oh,
It's where you do it.
That
It's where you
did
do
give
it.
big. That
Similar
gave
to
big
Red.
Leo energy, Jay. So I knew you weren't gonna be mad at it. That was definitely Leo vibe. But you know, I wouldn't do nothing like that. But I think sometimes you gotta level, just level set and let people know this is where I'm at. I view myself as a 9. I'm the best person in the room. I'm this. I'm that. I got it all together. I'm put together. So if you don't see that in me, just move around. Now, people may not like that strategy, but I kind of like how she came in and let everybody know where she's at. So you either with her or you ain't. I thought that was
But
cool.
nobody is perfect, so it's like just chill out. I mean, I feel you, but nah, you're not. I mean, you're on the show for a reason. If you're all of that, you wouldn't be on the show.
Well, that's true, but she's all where they in Dallas?
Yeah.
You know, people got 2-3 girlfriends and wives down there in Dallas. The same thing like Atlanta. So
yeah,
I sympathize with her. Who knows what brought her to that place in that state? What, Kojo?
Oh, jeez.
Anyway, you just are gonna take the slip and slide.
What did I lie about that? That's
because
true.
you blaming her previous relationships on her little cocky moment.
Wait, what I say? What I do?
You said who knows what she's dealing with down there. No, she's a little cocky. It's okay. It's not the end of the world, but don't blame a previous dating situation on why she's arrogant or whatever you were saying.
No, Sean, you in and out. That's not what I was responding to. I was saying she's probably on the show because of who knows. That's what I was responding to. Who knows?
Oh, because
she cocky because she cocky. That's because
analyst was just talking about her personality, so it sounded like that was a response or rebuttal to that, not a whole new topic.
Yeah, I see it as cockiness, and I see it as belief in self. You know what I'm saying? If you don't believe in yourself, ain't nobody gonna believe in you. Hello. Be amazing, sis. Y'all might have to come to me at another season.
We'll go with it. We'll see. We'll see. Let's give her another episode or two.
Now,
maybe in cancer season. You know,
Severius,
she'll join Red.
However you say your name. How is Cat's beauty and confidence making me and analyst insecure? What did I miss? I said I like her confidence. I'm confused. Y'all just say anything.
Who said that? Don't be responding
bow,
to
bow,
these folks.
bow.
You gotta fire off whatever. You just going.
Don't make me come in the comments and block you. That's what I was saying.
Bow, 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 bow.
I never do this.
Coach, where is the machine gun sound effect?
Child, see, this is what happens after you go to a Beyonce concert. You come back.
Right, I'm in my bag. I want to know. Y'all just say anything.
Lord.
Round 1, fight. Round 1, fight.
We're fans.
Round
fans. It's like, don't call yourself a kitten, dummy.
Okay, what about Christopher? What do we think about Christopher, the new guy?
Oh, he's just fine. He's fine. That's all I got. Cute. He got a good set of hair.
He got a good set of hair. What is this? A unit?
And the smile. The smile.
He got a good 2B unit. Bust down middle part.
I like his little country swag. His Mississippi, you know. I don't know. I like him.
He said he's from Mississippi and Texas.
Texas, yeah.
I was like, oh, not you from both. Okay, sir.
Yeah.
He doubled down.
I ain't gonna lie, that deep voice and the accent. I love me a good accent.
Okay.
I love me a good accent. He was actually giving me ATL accent a little bit. I was like, I'm surprised Mississippi. I'm gonna have to start talking to some Mississippi folks, see what they sound like.
He seemed like he got his head on his shoulders. But it is confusing, though, how somebody don't know how old they are. That is the only thing. Somebody is not the right age.
Between
No.
him and production.
Yeah, between him, production, and Janelle, somebody don't know how old they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, that did throw me for a curveball when he said we were at high school at the same time. I'm like, but she's 41.
Is she
and you're
41?
34.
He don't look 34 though. I'm not gonna lie to you.
So
She got left behind a couple of times.
No, he probably closer to
a
her.
decade?
Oh, he got jumped up. He trying to say
Somebody's
he younger. He trying to say he younger. I got
I
it.
think they were just bumping their gums, and he just went along with it because he found her attractive. So he was just because she wasn't really pushing the narrative. He kind of was more the one saying, "Oh, we was there at the same time. You know, Sally." It's like, bro, you was in elementary school when she was in high school.
And she probably was like,
Stop the cap. I'm being dramatic. Definitely, she wasn't in elementary school, but you know, she's a good at least a smooth 7-8 years older than him.
Yeah, so maybe it's one of them K through 12 schools.
I was gonna say, yeah, he was probably there.
They did say, I'm telling you, y'all gotta watch the episode because they were alluding to being in high school at the same
together.
time.
Yeah, they both said it. They both said it a couple of times.
And then they were like, we know some of the same people and blah 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 blah.
Then he's not 34 then, because a woman ain't gonna make herself older. So he's clearly not 34.
Yeah, maybe he's 44.
And they got the numbers wrong because they be getting stuff all switched.
Well, he said his age. Did he say his age himself too, though?
How did he say?
Yeah, he did. I think he said 30 something. Yeah, because Red asked him how old he was when he walked into the gym. That's right.
35. He said 35. He said, "Oh yeah, you 35. You might need a stretch."
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, he did.
Mm-hmm.
So
no, he ain't 33 at all. He's 35.
It says 33 on the screen right now.
Well,
and
you know that Ready to Love is notorious for messing up those ages.
Oh, really?
Definitely. Phil's still 51.
Yeah, Phil from the DC season is 51. They had Fabrice as 41.
Oh, wow.
That's that hard.
Wait, how old was Fabrice?
60.
Older than me? I know, that's for certain.
Wasn't he like
right.
50, 51?
I mean, Samson just turned 50, and that brother don't look his age. And Fabrice,
Samson don't look his age though. Samson looks amazing.
Samson definitely lying about his age. He moving up.
Mr. Samson, no, he I don't know if he
Mr. Samson.
Put some respect on it.
Mr. Samson looks fantastic.
Why you get her started, Sean?
I forgot about her friendship with Mr. Sampson.
He lives his life. You gotta love it. You gotta love people who walk in their own,
You sound like Kat talking about
living his truth.
He's living his truth. What's the dude's name?
The sex writer
guy.
Marvin.
Marvin. Yeah.
I don't like him. He needs to go.
Marvin was interested though. He was cornering
her
quick.
He was smiling like a.
Did you guys peep their eyes when at the end when they mentioned her at the men's lounge? That whole side of that room lit up. The camera panned. Red was like
hella fine, like.
Yeah, Red was like this. Marvin was like. Chris was just smiling.
About who?
About Kat.
Oh yeah.
She must have them sexy long legs as well too. That's probably what it is.
They were just smiling away.
I hear it. Mm-hmm. All right, cool. Let's talk another one. Obviously, why is the name gone out of my head now? Unique, obviously, her situation. What's you guys' thoughts of Unique? She had 2 close encounters with Herbert and also Christopher, and they had some thoughts on her. Which was they felt like she might have a little bit of stuff that she's gone through. She herself admitted to obviously never having boundaries at one point. She had, no boundaries at all. So what's you guys' thoughts on Unique and her situation? What's your thoughts?
I think she's in a sunken place. You know,
Ooh, okay.
What?
she's in a sunken
God
place. You
damn.
know, like she's just very, she's got a lot of things going on, and she probably needs to do some work. She reminds me a little bit, although she was a little perkier, but she still just had so much work to do. What's the girl with the butterfly?
Yeah, I know you're
Always
talking
wearing the
about.
butterflies in her hair, and she got into it
Oh
with
yeah,
Kadian
from
Oh,
that
Miami.
okay.
Miami season. Yeah, she
Yeah.
reminds me of her, where it's like she just this every little thing sets her off. She made the unnecessary comment to Red. Then she's talking about boundaries, and then she was like, I don't take nothing. It's like she just came off real hard. I was like, whoa, take it, dial it back a little bit. Let's see you smile, let's see you relax. So I think she just needs to come out of the sunken place and just get a little lighter, energy to her.
Yeah, she has very sad eyes. And she kind of gives very just kind of sad energy. I think she's beautiful. I'm in the camp of people who think she looks like Megan Good. I think she's honestly is beautiful. But she just she seems sad and she seems a little hard. And I do think from what she said, it's a result of when you get out of a situation where you done tolerated stuff that if you were in your right mind you would have never allowed. You're like, I'm never going there again. But I think she's probably trying to swing to the way other side of the pendulum, and it's coming across. So I think she in fact probably right now is not ready to love, because I don't think there's anyone on this show that's going to be patient enough to kind of walk her through that. So she probably needs to work through whatever she went through in that marriage, because it seemed like it was awful. And I feel bad for her that she's kind of in this space. I don't know what that man did to her, but she seems like she's still struggling with it. So
Yeah, definitely. Some healing needs to be done there. It's the oversharing for me. She's just like, they're just having a casual conversation, and then it just goes into, oh, by the way, I had a terrible marriage, and da 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 da. And the person is just sitting there like, wow, read the room. I didn't, I didn't ask for all of that. And I'm glad the guy, I think Marcier or whatever you say his name, he did give her that feedback at the end, to really just, one thing, married 10 years YouTube channel, Auntie Deborah said, women that have like, breakups and all, we need to come up with our breakup story, because when you come across like that, you might just be like trying to be authentically you, but it just doesn't sound right to the receiver or the hearer. And she may mean well, but it just is like, it's like you said, Sean, it's heavy. It's heavy, and it's not dating, it's not like the dating environment that you want to feel, that ambiance, that lightness, that excitement. It just gives like, yeah, you need healing, and you're oversharing. You're saying too much too soon. So
Yeah, just real quick, Tasia, if y'all know who she is, from I think the DC or the Potomac season, she does videos about dating, and that's one of the videos she did about, don't, and I gotta agree with her hearing this. Don't tell what that last person did to you, because you're setting the bar kind of low, and people can use it as a baseline, right? So I don't think you should lead with the worst things that you've been through, especially in the early stages of a relationship. So I agree with that.
Well, I'll add on to that, Sean. Like you always saying, if you didn't learn nothing, don't share it. Like if you learned something and you healed from it, then feel free. But when you're
that's
still
good.
hurting from it, that's not the time for you to share with just strangers. And that's what I think that she's actually in, and she's in a transitional period. of her life where she's trying to regain the balance, because she's already was on one extreme saying that she had no boundaries, to fall all the way to the other extreme of adding on boundaries as she continues to date, which is not a great thing to do, because now you're adding a wall up for all your future daters. So I think she just needs to balance herself out somewhere in the middle of having enough boundaries, some realistic foundational boundaries, not just, oh, you breathe wrong, so I'm gonna cut you off, or this, that, I'm gonna cut you off. Like some real things. I'm not gonna deal with a liar. I'm not gonna deal with a cheater. I'm not gonna, those type of boundaries. And then from there, just work it out, because we keep saying that nobody's perfect. So you cannot have this long list of, I cannot with this person, I will not with this person, I will, all these things you're not going to tolerate, or you're just going to have nobody. So she's got to find her way of saying, this is my deal breakers, this is what I can tolerate, and this is what I need to grow at and to learn and to compromise in. And she'll be fine. I do see that sad eyes, and I do think that last relationship kind of broke her a bit, and it might have taken some of her confidence away. So she just needs a little bit more time. I'm gonna keep saying it. Some people just need to spend more time with self before go dating other people, especially. I'm not sure how long out of the marriage she's been, but when you come out of long-term hard relationships, it's kind of like you need to spend much more time with yourself rather than jumping into the next, to just regroup and regain some self-awareness, who you are, what changes you went through that process. And like I said, what that process taught you at the end about yourself, and what you will deal with and what you will not. And yeah, we'll see. But yeah, stop telling these men all that, because you done cut yourself shot yourself in the foot with telling these men all these different things, that I got a list of boundaries and I don't want this and I'm not going to tolerate that. And if he's mine, he's mine. And girl, that sounds scary. Calm down.
Totally agree.
100%, definitely agree there. I just personally think, I think Jay, you said it best. I think it's not that you can't tell your story. It's just the fact that if you haven't learned anything, there's no point telling us anything, because it just sounds really bad. Because you're still in that same place. You still haven't grown from that particular place, which means you're probably bound to repeat it. So, and I've always said this, when you hear someone talk about their past, what do you hear? Do you hear growth, or do you still hear the pain? If you still hear the pain, then you probably don't need to be there in that person's present. Don't need to be in that person's life as a relationship partner, because they're probably still healing and probably still growing from those moments. And they may not treat you the way that you need to be treated. So, I think with Unique, I always say this, so, confidence doesn't need to announce itself. It doesn't need to announce that it's confident. Confident announces itself because it is confident. It just is what it is. It doesn't have to say, I am this very thing. And I think when you are healing well, you don't need to say, I'm healing. It just shows in the way that you discuss your issues and the way you discuss certain events. And I think, even saying my boundary is this, and I'll make sure it's this, it sounds like almost you're trying to convince yourself that that's your boundary, almost in a sense. And you're giving more of a warning off to people rather than actually just being about it. I don't have to warn you my boundaries are X, Y, and Z anymore, because no, I just know that's how I move. That's how I move. I move this way. I like my boundaries are this, and I move in that particular way. I don't have to warn you that those are my boundaries. And I think that's that balance that you get when you get to a place where you're better off in terms of, in terms of dating someone as well. So yeah, if you're going to share, get to a better place where, you've got some healing, got some learns from that situation, got some learns from it. And that will help in the way that you can deliver the message. And also as well, if you get rejected after that, you don't feel as bad. So yeah, I just think those things. Any more thoughts on Unique in that aspect? No, yeah, no. Okay. All right, cool. Let's leave that one then. Unique in that space. Who else? Why do I feel like have I missed anybody? I think I've got everybody, right? Well, that's all the major players that day. Was there any other major things that happened that episode?
Did you talk about? I think Maury. I think who does it?
Maury and what? Jessica.
Yeah.
Go for it. Yeah, Maury and Jessica. Yeah.
I just asked if you talked about it.
What?
I just asked if we talked about it. I didn't know that I didn't necessarily have a distinct agreement. I was just spitballing some names to you, bro.
Oh, you would just said to say some things.
I was just giving you some names
now we're
and
here,
situations.
And now you're in it.
Mario he seems like a person that just likes anybody that likes him. He doesn't seem selective at all.
Oh, that's a point right there, actually.
Yeah, because Tequila, whatever was his top for what reason?
Exactly. Because she was open. Again, go ahead.
No, I'm not saying anything. No, I was saying go for it, babe.
Yeah, no, I think that it's insecurities, he probably knows he's not the best looking in the bunch. So whoever seems receptive, that's what I think is giving. Yeah. He I don't know. He just doesn't seem he seems, and this is I could be projecting. He seems fake to me.
Maury?
Mm-hmm. Just keep watching.
Okay.
That's my opinion. Yeah, it's giving fake. It's giving
News Maury. You tell me he seems fake.
I don't know. It's just the way he carries himself. I was watching how he kept holding his jewelry, his fake jewelry. I don't know. It was just like he was trying to put on a show. And then he's just open to whoever's open to him. So can you trust that person really if they're not the one selecting?
I see what you mean.
Because I want you to want me just as much as I want you. I don't want you to want me by default.
Yeah, because the man that wants tequila cannot want me at the same time. We're not.
But Maury didn't want tequila.
That's what he said. He said she was his top real bad.
Last week. The week before
that was last week, but she got
she got in her feelings and was complaining that he was talking to the other women's.
Yeah. So. I think he used good decision making. He might have liked her first because he didn't see the whole thing. But once he saw the little bit of mayhem, he knew enough to exit.
Mm-hmm.
Smart again, that's my opinion on him. I don't know about him yet. And huh?
Oh no, I was gonna say a comment to Sean's exit thing. He probably also exit from her too, just watching her chase Habibi the way she was chasing him. So it was probably like, yeah, okay, if that's what you're going after, I'm gonna go work over here.
I'm a little nervous for I should have said this when we were talking about Unique, but Unique and Marvin, I know they had a little thing, and as unhealed as she is, it's like, that's the worst person you can choose in this state. That is not. I don't really like him at all, to be honest. I think that he's a well, I won't say the word, but he's a P word to me.
I don't know. I think her attraction to Marvin is more of a placeholder for right now. Something to do.
Sexual, yeah.
Yeah, something to do.
A P word? What?
A P word. I said a placeholder. What you said?
No, I said P word. I can't say it. Let me put it in the chat.
Yeah, because I just got confused, so I just want to know what word.
Yeah.
Oh, a predator.
Yeah, like a perv. Yeah.
Oh, I mean,
you could say that word.
I don't know.
He's always Dungeons and Dragons, man. I mean, listen, he likes sex. I think that's what it is. I just think he likes sex. I just think he's Dungeons and Dragons. That's what it is,
I think that's so unattractive, though. don't lead with that.
But that's who he is. He's living his truth, like Kat said.
It's not good for you. I agree that.
That's what I'm saying. I'm speaking from my opinion. Yeah.
Yeah, for you, it's not good. You know.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's a handsome guy. He's tall. He's handsome. You know.
Handsome.
He definitely
is
get
so
people in the
crazy.
dungeon.
And
Yeah.
I think it's best that he tells you up front, right? Because then
Mhm.
you could make the choice how you want to
Mhm.
move around. So it would be better than he just be,
Lie.
you know, deceptive and talk about, oh, I'm an
Mhm.
author. And that's the truth, right? But he ain't telling you what kind of
Mhm.
author he is and then the lifestyle that he leads. So he's very upfront. So
Okey-dokey.
I think that's a feather in his cap.
Come to find, like, people in that lifestyles tend to be more upfront because they're not trying to waste too much time
I
with
hear that.
people outside of it. So
Yeah, you seen
And
Kat's
he's
reaction to him, right? She was like, "Yikes."
but that's the thing, it's kind of like the same thing Habibi was trying to do, is just like, let
Mhm.
me throw something out there and see who's gonna go for me. You
Right.
know, Habibi was just more on the edge of, I'm just gonna throw random whatever and see what you take. But he's like actually giving himself, like, this is what I'm into, this is what I like. Are you down or not? No? Okay. This is what I'm into, this is what I like. You down or not? No? Okay. Like, he just gonna keep
Yeah.
moving. He not gonna waste his time with people that's not into what he's into.
Yeah, and I appreciate, like you said, Sean, I appreciate that. I'd rather know than not know. So at least I have a choice. Yeah.
okay.
I wouldn't be
So,
near
so
that man.
what you say, Siri?
I wouldn't be nowhere near that man.
Right.
I understand. Dungeons are not for everybody, okay, guys. You know, 50 Shades of Grey is not for everybody. You know what I mean? But he's living his ultimate truth, and I love that for him. You know, and the ladies that want to buy into him, you know what I mean? They said they want to Marvin Gaye it all up, and I understand that. You know what I'm saying? I am not vexed at a brother for wanting to bring sexual healing to those who want sexual healing. So he is doing his blessed work. I was about to say the Lord's work, but it's not the Lord's work. But
And lady said,
let it be
call
blessed
me
wherever he is.
when you want somebody to call you up. Call me. Call me. That's what them ladies are saying. The ones he like, come tie me out.
I'm not
What
mad at
about
it.
when he said his ultimate dream is to move to the Caribbean or something? You guys remember that?
Yeah, the Virgin Islands when he
Yeah.
has kids and stuff.
Yeah, so you can run
Yeah.
mad on the island. I know how you get down. No, I'm just
There's gonna be a few strays I'm gonna catch in this for this
I
week.
just didn't, I just didn't think it mattered because nobody want him no way like that. So he can move to I don't know anywhere.
that's after he done sat here and tore the U.S. all up, doing what he's
Right.
doing now. He want to go simmer down in the islands where nobody know his misbehavior.
Yeah, I guess.
Right. Start over.
Got loads
A
of other
new
smart
name.
brothers.
My name is Mark. No longer Marvin. Yeah.
He just seems like he wants to live an alternative lifestyle. So I'm just
Mm.
not quite sure why he came on this show. But
Oh,
maybe
I see what you're saying.
maybe he thought he could find somebody in that lifestyle. But I haven't seen really
What?
anybody.
I'm sorry. I'm in that lifestyle, and I hear you can date 10 other women at the same daggone time. That's why he on this show. He misunderstood the assignment, but he understood it in his mind. I can date 10 women without any problems at the same time. Yeah, let's do it.
You think that's
We
what
gonna
he
see.
interpreted?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We're gonna see what happened.
Well, maybe if he took it that way, because otherwise, I'm trying
He
to
looking
figure
for a
out
sister wife.
why he on this, why he wasting these good women's time. Honestly, I feel like he probably was a production plant. What they didn't actually realize is that the women would entertain it. I think the goal was supposed to be they're supposed to be outraged, and these fools ain't even outraged, so it ain't even working. That's the problem.
I'll be outraged if these books are not good. If I read the books, and I'll be outraged if I read these books and they're not good. Okay, that's what I'll be.
There was a couple of them.
Why he writing?
There was a couple of them. Jessica, I think Jessica said it's a no for her. Pretty much Kat said it in a nice way.
Most of the ladies was like, nah.
Yeah, most of them were like, no, it's unique that's semi-intrigued.
Right.
They're giving polite no's though.
And I think initially Tequila almost, had a chance with him.
Now he need a Bible.
for the Bible.
That just sounds like he wants to live a quasi, polygamous, just different
He might
lifestyle.
do, you know.
I thought that's what he
He might
kind
do.
of said.
But this show
He
is
said he
not
had, I think,
setting
previously.
people up for
Oh, he
polygamy.
had a
Previously
previous one like that. Okay.
Yeah, I think he previously was in one. I think he was or whatever. So he has been in that situation.
Maybe they should allow polyamorous relationships. If you just like two people,
Lord.
you can link them
I'm
all.
not ready to love. Not ready to love.
You can pick
It's
two.
more,
They can
it's
find another
more
show for that.
love. It's more
You give me
love.
your top two. You can keep your top two, huh?
They can do that with another show, not the show.
Well, that's what
Did
you
you?
said.
I want to ask
Mm.
about
We
Philip
haven't,
and Kat.
we haven't finished
Oh.
Maria and Jessica yet. We actually didn't finish them.
We did it actually.
Oh, go ahead.
You're all concerned about shiny head.
She's forgettable to me. I don't even remember the conversation. Do you?
Not really.
I remember the conversation. Yes, they had a conversation, and he was telling her how much he liked her, and she was like, "Okay."
Smiling and nodding. That's all I remember.
Yeah, she was said, "Yeah." I'm a wave, I'm a smile, I'm gonna keep this vote going because I need it. Okay, so she said I'm gonna continue to play in this boy's face. But any other thoughts on Maria and Jessica? Because I know before we dip it off again to another person,
You just gotta shoot a shot. I mean, what can you do?
it's tough out here, you know. He shot, but is he? It's
Shooting,
not
but he ain't
connecting.
got no target, child. Jessica ain't thinking about him right now. She just being polite.
What do you think the issue is with Maurier? Why do you think like he's shooting blanks right now?
I think he's like that nice guy. He give me nice guy vibes or whatnot. That and a little bit of a I'm not about to use that word. A little bit of a pushover. I'm about to say that word, but like he gives me, like y'all was saying earlier, he can kind of he'll go in the wind. He'll just blow either way. You kind of can tell him, I want to do this and whatever. He gives me that vibe. Yeah, I'm just waiting for him to kind of put his foot down on some things. He does a little bit with some people, but it's whoever's choosing him. Yeah. So.
I'm looking at the scene now because honestly, they're so forgettable. I don't remember. But he said something, or she asked about his last relationship, and then he mentioned something about a woman getting pregnant, and it didn't really go too deep after that. I know he mentioned he's used to a 2-parent household, and so, but I don't really know. It kind of was chopped up.
He said that she had got pregnant. The lady that he was dealing with got pregnant. That's their child. I believe it sounded like the mother of his child. That's what it sounded like. I got confused on that part too. So I was like, is this the mother of your child? But she cheated.
Right. I wasn't sure. But he said something about co-parenting. So I'm thinking that is his child, but he's just not used to having or wanting a child out of wedlock. And maybe, because he came up with two parents. And then she kind of responded like, "Oh yeah, I like that about you. You're really into family." So that's all I got from that conversation. Kind of boring.
Okay. Cool. Okay, cool. Let's move on. And who's the next person? You said, unless you said someone else was.
Oh, I wanted to ask what everyone thought about when Philip was talking to Kat about, like, she was like, how she kind of mentioned she likes to live every day exciting, and tomorrow, yeah. You wanna tee it up, or you wanna say it?
Go for it. You can tee up.
Okay.
You can tee up, Alice.
Yeah, so she basically said, she likes to be spontaneous, and maybe tomorrow she might be in Jamaica or the next day somewhere else. And he kind of was like, "Oh, I like that. I need a little push." So do we need to be pushing people? Is that a farce? Is that real? What are we thinking?
I think that's real.
Good question.
Okay.
I think it's real because, I mean, a person has to have a willingness to travel, kind of like he does. Like, clearly he has a willingness to travel. He just needs a little bit of a push. Because my husband, when we got married, he didn't go any of the places that I've been. I was Dora the Explorer all over the world. and now he be right along with me. But he was open to it, you know. But that's not what he was doing before. Sometimes people just need a little bit of a push. Like we done pushed Kojo to come to the United States. Now look,
You're right. You know, out here on his own volition.
True.
now he planning his own trip. Sometimes you just need
Right.
a little bit of a push. You see
Not
it.
the that road. Coach just said, "How I get in this?"
I catch a stray again.
Exactly.
No, it's true though.
No, but that's a
true.
real life example. So I thought it was cute how he was like, "Oh, I like the fact that she would push me." So I thought that was a cute convo. I wonder if she's feeling him for real. I'm not sure, but I like their conversation. So, and I like how she said that she wants someone who's excited about life, because there are people who are just going through life, just existing. And if you're actually trying to live life to the fullest, you really do need people around you who kind of also are trying to get the most out of life that they can. So I did feel her on that. I thought they had a good combo.
Yeah, I might look at it a little differently. I mean, okay, I think it depends on age, and I don't know. We'll see how he really is over time, or maybe not. I don't know. But there are some people that just say things just to say things, and it's like, how old are you? You look about late 40s. If you haven't been traveling by now, don't know if that's just for, you know, you're just placating to what I'm saying in the moment, or, you know, are you truly interested? Because I've seen people do that, and then they get into the real relationship, and you're like, yeah, so let's do what we planned. And yeah, it's a no.
Okay,
So,
I hear that. That's
yeah.
real. Any other thoughts on the Phil and whether you need a push in relationships?
I just hope he's
No?
for real. I mean, he said he travels across the U.S., and I don't know if it's just travel for work or pleasure, but hopefully it's for pleasure, because then that extra push to get out the country is one thing. But if it's for work and you're not really a traveler, just saying I need an extra push to be going with somebody, you're not going to change. You're just going
Exactly.
to travel for, you know, what you got to do. So hopefully it is for pleasure, and he does want to see the world, because listen, don't ruin my daggone trip. That's all I got to say.
And it's so true what she was saying. Like, I want somebody excited. Like, I've experienced that too, where you like, you know, I don't know about you guys, but if you like to celebrate, I'm one that I love to celebrate things. I like, you know, birthdays and whatever it is, I like to do it because, hey, we work hard, why not? And if you're around someone who is just like, oh, that's a waste of money, or that's a waste of time, that's just like, it's such a downer, you know? No comment?
No, I do. No, I agree. I mean,
Mhm.
I just can't get a feel on if that's how he is.
Yeah, I don't
This
know.
conversation was hard to it was hard to read.
Who
So
was he talking to with the travel? I forgot. Who was
Cat.
that? Cat. Okay.
he just seemed like he was excited to be in her presence. So I don't know. You know, when you kind of like
Mm-hmm.
you acting like you're shooting above your station, he kind of had that vibe. So I don't know if he was just saying anything or what. But I like Phil. I had said it the other day. I thought he's one of the cooler guys on the show. So now he a cardboard. Boring is better, honestly, guys.
What does Phil do? What was Phil's title?
What do he do? He's not the construction guy, right? That's somebody else.
He does work at the library.
He work at the library? He can't. Well, first of all, something's wrong with their website. They ain't even got this man on there. They got people repeating pictures and they ain't got him on there.
Okay.
They got Aries
He's a
twice.
librarian.
Is he?
So I got a few people saying he's a librarian.
Who?
I don't
Phil?
see that. They said he
That's what I'm
ain't a
saying.
librarian.
Oh.
Y'all cut it out.
Yeah.
He ain't no librarian. Y'all are clowning.
Where did Jay pick that up from?
Where did I pick it up from? What? Nigga, I'm reading the thread. Like, what the
I
heck
thought
they
you
picked up from?
but didn't you just say 2 minutes ago? Does he
I
work in the
asked a
library?
question, and I read, and from the question, I sat there and was like, he work in a library. Somebody wrote it in the chat. I'm trying to ask, like,
Somebody
seriously,
said
figure out.
supply chain.
Supply chain analyst.
Oh
manager.
yeah, that's what it's. Yeah, supply chain. And
No, don't worry about it, Grace. I'm reading your thing, and they sitting here trying to blame me. Jesus. I don't know. They were saying he was born. That's why he a librarian.
Well, supply chain may not be much.
I thought you were saying Liberian, like from Liberia.
Liberian. I got Southern
But
twang accent. Okay.
Right. Librarian. Okay, I got you.
I don't say brr. I don't say
Brr.
brr.
Oh, like you from Liberia?
Yeah, librarian.
Yeah.
I just don't want to be a librarian because I'm not helping y'all with y'all research. Y'all need to do your own research. Don't come to this desk asking me to help you find anything. Find it yourself. I'm not searching no terms for you. That's why it couldn't be me.
That's funny.
I hear that. Any other persons in the show that you wanted to discuss? I think we've reached towards almost the end now. We're at 2 hour mark actually, so to be honest.
I'm ready to go. I'm ready to hit the strip club.
Twice sound.
No.
Twice.
I don't do strips. You guys know I don't do those. You guys
it's Monday, ain't it? It's Magic City Mondays. Go get some.
Lord. Don't go down there.
Go to those places.
Go get some chicken wings.
Somebody go.
I already got my chicken wings.
Y'all Atlanta people, take them to go get some Magic City wings. It's Monday.
I already got my wings. I got lemon pepper wings. Okay, I don't do the magic stuff. Okay,
it's hood down there too.
Magic City wings yet?
I don't do those things. Sean, give us a benediction. These sisters out here.
Everybody,
wilding.
all of us. Like, cut this live. Y'all just bumping your gums.
Gotta get us off this live.
Yeah.
Just wilding.
Listen, we have come to an end. I don't know how fruitful our discussion was, but hopefully we walked away with some things. But we are glad to have Mr. Kojo Little Black Book in the United States, so please support him.
Yes.
Some PayPal love, because it took quite a bit of coinage to get this brother over stateside yet again. But listen, we about to be outside and having a good old time. It's real
outside.
But another great discussion. I don't know what lessons we learned tonight. You know what? I take that back. I think we learned a couple things, right? So we think about, and Unique, if you're watching, don't take the sunken place. It's not personal. It's just a little anecdotal comment about what we're seeing, right? So I think if you are in a place of hurt, if you haven't yet learned your lessons, and how you are going to better relate in your relationships, maybe it's best not to tell your relationship story, right? Until you've got what you learned and what you're going to do better. Nothing wrong with talking about some of the hurts that you had later on down the line. But the biggest thing is, what did you learn, about you that is for you moving forward, and not necessarily sharing it up front. You don't want to scare folks off, and you don't want to give them a baseline on how to treat you, right? Next, listen, confidence whispers, right? So if another person walks in the room, Red, we know you got a big personality. We know you are a DJ, stand-up comedian. We appreciate you. There's no disrespect, but let it whisper, bro. Let it whisper. And there's no need to knock anybody else down to bring yourself up. And that's for Janelle or anybody else. We don't need to hear the negative comments about a fake purse or this or that. Look, you got what you got, and they got what they got. And if they got less than you, more than you, so what? It ain't got nothing to do with you. So focus on you, focus on what makes you you, and that will shine in any situation. Back to you, Coach.
Love for that, Sean. Thank you very much. True love forever. Shout out to you as well for sending us super chat as well. We appreciate you. I will enjoy the ATL and the rest of what America has to offer. Thank you again as well, Sean, for the benediction. Ladies, thank you, Jay, Seaway, analyst as well. Good to see you guys and ladies on the panel once more again, super panel. I think we'll probably do it again next Monday because Saturday I'm not going to be available. I already know. I'm so sorry, guys. And next Saturday we will not be available. We won't, and the week after we won't be available. So it's gonna be Monday for the next 2-3
Then
weeks.
You catch
Okay.
me in the hey.
So
I'm
you ain't gonna see me, okay? We're gonna enjoy ourselves. So yeah, we'll be back. We'll be on a Monday for the next 2-3 weeks. Someone asked, "Am I really downtown?" Yes,
Atlanta, Vegas. I love it.
Downtown. You know, soon we might come to one day
Oh,
to Vegas,
Kojo
to
ain't done
LA,
Vegas
California.
yet. You ain't done Vegas
He
yet.
ain't done Vegas
Listen,
yet.
we have to. If we're doing, we have to do a
Vegas.
show out there. If we're gonna come to Vegas, not just gonna. We have to do a show out there. We're gonna do Vegas. You know, we have to do a proper show, like, you know what I mean. So yeah, maybe next year. Let's see what we can do.
Vegas
Actually,
costs too much money.
You gonna get some good. You come to Vegas, Coach. You gonna get some good food because my auntie definitely gonna cook just because y'all there.
oh, see, the Lord's
Look
already
at Sean's
working and
face.
making
Look,
this.
Sean. Yes, that auntie Sean.
My bags are packed.
Bags are packed, you know. All right, listen, audience, thank you so much. Appreciate you. Thank you for joining us tonight. You know, it's always been fun when we get to discuss.
I'm leaving here with something.
Shout out to Jimmy.
You know what I mean? I'm from around the way. I'm leaving with something.
I can see Jamie Foxx is doing well as well. He's coming back, so hopefully it's not a clone and it's his real self. But much appreciation. Stay locked, stay loaded. We'll see you guys again next Monday on another show.